Welcome to the Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast. I'm your host, Steve. With me, as always, is Neil. Neil, how are we doing today?
Pretty hungry, but besides that, doing great.
So, speaking of hungry, someone's cooking like chicken or something outside. It smells pretty good. Yeah, so why were you late then? I thought you were out to dinner.
No, I said it was at the gym.
Oh, you're back at the gym after the shoulder incident.
Yeah, I was just running, but I did go to physical therapy this morning.
Yeah?
You know what I never knew would be the hardest thing ever? Pushing a ball against the wall. Legitimately the hardest thing I've probably done.
What kind of ball are we pushing?
It was just like this little squishy ball, and you just like you're basically leaning your whole body against the wall, and you just push a little bit.
Okay.
And like my entire left arm was shaking. And she goes,
Oh.
"Yeah, that's normal. Don't worry about it. That's just the muscles trying to get back to it."
And by the way, you're dying.
It's like, oh. It would be horrifying if like I just looked at her face and she just had like this horrified like expression on her, like, oh
Why
my
is your
God.
body shaking?
It was just like my
it's
shaking,
it's
but
just
yeah.
a natural thing the body does when it's shook. Before we get into it, shout out to Core Gamer. They get you the biggest news in gaming daily. Shoot on over to coregamer.com. That's core with a K. Sign in with put your email. Oh, I'm really struggling here.
Oh boy.
Put your email in to sign up, and they'll send you a little daily email with the latest in gaming news. That's Core Gamer, biggest news in gaming daily. Neil, we got emails this week.
Oh, it's plural.
Means? You know what that means?
Sing it away, Steve.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. Mail! It's the mail segment. Yeah, 2 emails. So we'll start first with the question. We got a question and a little piece of fan art, which we'll put up. But first question is from our friend Sir Caruso. He's very proud of us. But he goes, "Dear Koalafied Gamer Guys, what graphical feature in games can you really appreciate? For me, it's water graphics. I love when games take time to make water look so fluent and realistic. What are yours? Maybe it's a nice skybox, or maybe the way your character hair flows while running. From Sir Caruso. P.S. I am so proud of you guys." I'll put this one towards you first, Neil. And thanks, Sir Caruso, for the email. If you'd like to email us, anyone out there, it's qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. So, Neil, what's a graphical feature in games you really appreciate when you play?
Well, I know that right before this, I told you it was probably fire, which I do really appreciate a good fire in a game. But I was thinking about it, and it's definitely, like the distance you can see.
Draw distance.
Yeah, exactly. Like in Bloodborne, there's some pretty crazy. You'll walk across, like the cleric.
Go on.
Like, because I just beat the cleric beast again since I can't stop playing the game. When you first walk across that bridge, the camera almost like it doesn't force you to look up, but it kind of that's how it's designed. And there's just like this giant medieval castle. Stuff like that, or when you're like in Far Cry and you're standing on a cliff and you can see places that you can literally wingsuit to. Stuff like that is always incredible to me when it's just really well done in detail. And you can see like I remember seeing like this smoke fires in Far Cry that you could see, and you knew that's like a location you could go to. That's so cool to me.
Yeah, I like that too. It really like keeps you within the game. You know what I mean? Like it's not game breaking when you go pop in. I like, you said you liked fire. Bloodborne's got some nice fire in it.
Yeah.
Unlike COD Fire, which is like
the 2-dimensional, and
like
it literally just like
it rotates as you
rotates as you run around it, and half the time you can beat it.
I think that I like a day-night cycle. I think that's really something that gets me into the game when they implement that, because it's like a little like reminder that time's passing, especially like in an open world game. A well implemented day night cycle, with like the sun setting and stuff. It looks great in GTA 5, for example. That's a little graphical feature I always appreciate in the game.
Let me ask you this: do you like it more as just like a little fun thing like that? Like GTA, like there's obviously a difference between night and day, but it's not as imperative as a game like, let's say, Don't Starve.
Yeah.
Where when it's night, you got to get stuff done before then. Like that, even though that's not the greatest game because it's not graphically the craziest thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I like it not as much as the gameplay mechanic because I don't like it telling me how I have to play. I like it as a just like a thing in the background.
Yeah, just a nice little feature that makes it more. It feels more like a world. If it's not just like you walk. It's like Infamous Second Son. The time was based off story missions. So it would be day forever, and then you'd start a mission, and then it would turn night, and then it was night. Like it's cool when you're just messing around, and you can see it feels like you're passing the time.
I mean, although I don't like the way I said I don't like it changing the way I play, I did like it in Dying Light because I just thought that was that's fun when when your watch starts beeping. And you have that second of oh god, I gotta get back to a safe house.
That is horrifying, and it makes you pass the time. Like it's not as much of a time crunch as Don't Starve with the Majora's Mask, where you're down to the hour. That's just a generic there's two types of gameplays, and you can play all during the day, but the sun will start to set, and you get that warning because everything starts glowing orange, and then once your watch starts beeping, oh, it's so terrifying.
It is.
That's a great game.
That is a good game. I'm looking forward to going back to it in a few weeks when they release the Horde Mode DLC. We could play that multiplayer.
Oh yeah, I gotta go back to that game. It's so much fun, and there's so much to do in it still.
Season pass, remember?
Oh, I do indeed.
So thanks again for the question, Sir Caruso. I know that you're one of our biggest fans. I know you comment almost every single week. So we're really
proud of us.
It. We are so proud of you for watching. All right. So again, if you want to be just like Sir Caruso, you can email us at koalafiedgamerguys@gmail.com. We're moving on to the second email here, which is a piece of fan art, which we'll put up in the description and the thing right now. I'll try to time it so it pops up around right now. It's a great picture. That's depicting the first time we got mail. It's a very, very quiet koala, which is me. And it's me calling Neil to tell him that we got mail at presumably 6 a.m. like I actually did. And this is from our friend Wyatt. There's one thing you got wrong, Wyatt. I have a white iPhone, so,
No, that's me being woken up, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is you.
You thought that would... He's drawing it about me.
No. Oh, I thought, this... You're right, the speech bubble's coming from the phone.
Oh, okay.
But I assumed it was coming from his mouth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's you. Because I was going to say, the koala looks way too upset to be singing that song.
Yeah, no. That's me being woken up by you by the phone.
It's actually, we really appreciate it. This is really well done. It actually looks like our logo.
It does.
If someone were to make our logo look really upset. So it was awesome. That's awesome you took the time to do that for us. And send that in. So we appreciate it, And if there's any other stories that we tell that you want to, make a picture of, send them in. We'll share them. So again, I'll put a little link to that down in the description, and it should be showing on your screen right now.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna put that all over our blog.
Oh yeah,
I'm literally gonna make a Tumblr and put it on there.
We tweeted it out too, so it's all of our followers, which we have 1,000 followers. They saw it, so we're just finding out. So thanks to Wyatt. That wraps up the mail segment. Wow, that was exciting, Neil. 2 pieces of mail.
2 pieces of mail. Man, that is exciting.
That is pretty good. That means people are listening.
It means 2 people are listening.
It could be the same person. It's the internet. So, again, if you want to join the mail segment for next week, just hit us up at koalafiedgamerguys@gmail.com. Thanks, Wyatt. Thanks, Sir Caruso. All right. We're going to move into This Week in Video Game Release History. Going all the way back to 2012, May 15th, 2012, Max Payne 3. This is actually the third Rockstar game that came out this week that I was pitching to Neil. Red Dead Redemption was a no. But actually, that came out the 18th, so we could use it next week, too. So, hint, it might be Red Dead Redemption. And then L.A. Noire was another one, but we both hate that game. So, I actually played this, and I love it. and Neil showed an interest in it. So
yeah, because I have not played it, but it did look good.
it is awesome. It was a lot of fun. It is the bullet time like combat in it is really cool, which they later used in GTA 5 for Michael. Does he have the slowdown? Right?
Someone does. That's for sure.
Trevor has rage or whatever.
No, I think it's Franklin that's got slowdown. No, he's got driving.
He's got slowdown while driving.
Yeah, so it is Michael then.
Michael's got the slowdown shot. So like it's that same mechanic, but like throughout the game.
Yeah, not Mad Max. That movie's coming out this week. Max Payne. It's all about like you like dive all over the place and slide down.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. And it's just got like a really like cool like story or whatever. Like takes you like down to Brazil, and
isn't like his life just the worst thing ever?
Yes, it's really bad. There's some cool flashback sequences in here, and I just thought it was some of the most satisfying third-person shooting, like cover shooter I played in a long time. So I really had a great time with it. It was I never played Max Payne 1 or 2 or saw the movie, but
movie's terrible. Don't worry about that one.
God damn it. God damn it, Neil. Yeah, this was enjoyable for what it was, and that was, like a third-person cover shooter. But
I remember, like, people liked the first couple Max Paynes, but they weren't, like, crazy. And this one came out, I remember it almost always getting, like, 9s and 10s, and it's all anyone talked about for a good couple weeks.
It was really, really good. Like, I didn't play it until 2014. I got it for $20. I played it last summer.
Okay.
Not last summer, no.
The last summer of your PS3?
Last summer on PS3, so 2013. I played it then, and I thought, like, it was really good. Yeah. Like, let me see what it's got here on Metacritic to give you a little idea. An 87, so...
That's really good.
Highly regarded.
Yeah, especially on Metacritic. Yeah, so... I remember I was going to get it because when I had GameFly, I think 2 years ago, it got pretty cheap there, and I was considering purchasing it, and I kind of never fully committed, but it always looked good to me, and it's a game that I knew I would always like because I like shooters like that. And so maybe someday, if that's a game that ends up on PlayStation Now or something, that would be a game I would stream for like a week because I just want to play the single player story.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, like, you could wrap it up in a week for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was compared to, like, Uncharted 3 in terms of grandeur story, so...
Don't go that far.
I'm just saying what people were saying, man. So, yeah, pretty good game. And that came out 3 years ago, which is actually that's the cutoff year for our This Week in Video Game Release History. It has to be at least 3 years old. So, Max Payne 3. I'm sure tons of you guys have played it.
And if you haven't, go play it.
Exactly. And we don't get paid to say that, as far as you know.
As far as I know.
I'm keeping all the money. Now time for some really exciting new releases. We got Final Fantasy X and X2 is coming to the PS4. This is like the 7th or 8th time this game has been released. What's going on here?
I can't believe it was released for the PS3, and then people were like, oh, why aren't they just waiting for the PS4? And now it's coming out again. And I remember reading that someone was like, as they redid it once. And it was so much easier to then just redo it one more time that it was worth the time constraint. Mm-hmm. Like, because I think they adapted everything for the PS3, and then all they needed to do for the PS4 was just boost the graphics a little bit more, and they didn't change anything else because everything was already changed for the PS3 version.
Yeah, I could see it just being a simple fix.
But the thing is, like, as dumb as this is, not dumb, but I mean, like, it is dumb. So as dumb as this is that it's coming out again for the PS4, I may get it eventually. Because I do really like this game. The first one, 10-2, was a huge letdown. But 10 is a game that, like, it gives you so many options of how you want to beat it. And that this game I beat with just one character. Like, I never played any other character. And so the whole party was just one guy. And I went through the entire game like that. Because it just gives you the ability to do stuff like that, like low-level games. Mm-hmm. And there's classes that you start in, but after you play long enough, it's like you level them up on like a grid. It shows like all these like points on the grid, and you kind of pick and choose, and you have to follow a path. And at a certain point, it just splits. And so if you level them up enough, you can just cover that like entire grid, and every character is on the same grid. So you can get the mage to like move all the way over to like the tank or whatever with high attack, and you can have a mage that can only do like 50 damage, end up doing like 10,000 by the end of the game if you do it well. And so that's why it's cool. It's got a lot of endgame content in the sense that you get to mess around with that. So I may actually get this game once it drops down to like $20. I'll probably pick it up because I do really like it. Okay. But I don't even want to support the fact that they just remastered the same game twice.
Final Fantasy, much like The Lord of the Rings, it's a game which I've never played. Any of them. Not once, not a second. So
I bet if you jumped in on this one, I bet this would be the one you would like. It's very... I don't know if you know the story at all, but it basically is... You play as this... Your main character is this kid, essentially, who's like a superstar athlete. And there's like a sport just in that universe that doesn't exist in the real world or anything. Cool sport.
It's not the water one, is it?
It is the water one.
It's the water ball thing?
The water ball. Blitzball. It's great. And it's a really fun mini game. You just get to play it whenever you want, and you can like draft people, and you can level them up. It's like this whole mini game.
I'm already overwhelmed and not interested.
I think you'd like it, but
maybe I would, Neil. Maybe I would.
Maybe eventually. Are you kind of more into like the fantasy, like not sci-fi games, more like Bravely Default seems like it's in the past, like Skyrim, like all those like more medieval-ish type of games?
I like medieval RPGs, yes.
Okay, I gotcha. That's not this.
I was going to say, I don't think they had Blitzball back then, Neil, but that's a draw. Yeah, I'm a medieval guy. It's just, I don't know. I like that time frame, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Like, I think it makes it more believable for the magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not a modern day game. It takes place kind of modern day, but he ends up like, it's a different universe, but he kind of ends up going like back in time. Sort of. It's hard to explain without giving spoilers away, but yeah, it's got. I get what you mean when it's like it makes more sense when you're in like an old school fantasy world, and then dragons and are breathing fire and stuff, and you're not like a sci-fi. Like that's. I don't think I could ever get into. What's the game that's coming out? Deus Ex Machina.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could never get into that, and I think it's because it's like in the future world. The future world.
Are you like interested? Speaking of like games,
just games
in The Witcher 3.
I don't know. I think I may be, but I think I have enough to play currently. And what's gonna happen? I know this is what's gonna happen. Is when it comes out, I'm just gonna look up a bunch of stuff about it
and then buy it.
And then I'm gonna want to go out and buy it. But as of right now, I don't plan.
Or Bloodborne.
Yeah, like Bloodborne, which. Maybe The Witcher 3 is going to be my next Bloodborne, and I'll just play it for a month straight.
Dude, Bloodborne was so good. That's the best. I think the best thing about Bloodborne was that, like, I just bought it on a whim. Remember, I went to go buy Drive Club, and then I was in there and I saw it, and I was like, I don't know if it's the kind of game I like. But I was like, you know what? Throw me Bloodborne too. And I hated it for the first 2 hours. I remember saying this is such a waste of money, that was a terrible purchase. And then it just clicked. And then I was in love, and I still am in love. You know, remember that your first kiss, Neil?
Yes.
I remember it too because I was there. Oh man. Oh yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Anyway, after that first kiss, no matter who it is, you fall in love, you know? And Bloodborne was my first kiss with a very difficult game, and I fell in love. Tough nut to crack.
And
speaking
of, the reason I think I might I'm hesitant on The Witcher versus Bloodborne is mainly because open world games sometimes I don't get into them as easily. And Bloodborne, it's not that. It's very, it's big, but it's still linear, and it's not hey, here's like a quest to go collect 50 things that spread throughout this giant world, and then that's all. That's like what you do. Like I hate fetch quests like that.
You gotta watch the Conan Clueless Gamer because it's really funny.
I am.
But like
That's going to.
you do get some very good like insight into how big the world is and everything. So it's funny though because the entire time it's just trying to have sex with the girl.
like all its games.
So anyway, yeah. So Final Fantasy.
So Final Fantasy.
Yeah. So that'll come out this week. Axiom Verge comes to the PC, which like whatever. I don't even want to talk about it. Like it came out.
We didn't care.
Almost 2 months ago on the PS4.
People like it.
Yeah, it's just not our type of game. It's a Metroidvania. Then we have Not a Hero, which is a side-scrolling pixel art shooter by the developers Digital?
Devolver, my bad. Devolver Digital, who did Hotline Miami, and Roll 7, who did Ollie Ollie.
Devolver Digital, and that's what it says. And Roll 7 did Ollie Ollie. So, did you like watch anything on this? Or
I went to the site to read about it, so I would have some idea what's going on. Basically, from the short bio about it, there's someone who's running for election and wants to win, but the city's a mess, so he hires somebody to just kill anybody that's like bad for the city. Mm-hmm. So that's why you're not really a hero. And Hotline Miami's from the top down. Imagine just looking at it from the side, and then taking the art from Ollie Ollie, that kind of like blockish, little colorful side scrolling, and use that. But the combat looks hard and tough and quick, where you can die really easily, and it looks like a game that I don't care about even a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I bet this is going to be one of those games that people love.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, I played a little bit of Ollie Ollie. I've never been interested in Hotline Miami, but I don't know. Like, it's so pedantic and stupid. But like, I have such a hard time getting into games with throwback graphics. You know?
Yeah, I don't care if it sounds shallow. I like good graphics. Like when people are like, oh well, it's not as good as like an 8-bit game. Like I don't. Single-handedly, that will stop me from playing the game. It's why I still haven't played Final Fantasy VII, because I can't get into those graphics.
I don't know. So I don't think either of us will be playing this, but it does sound pretty interesting considering the pedigree of the developers. But the big release this week is Project Cars for the PS4 and Xbox One. So I've heard some good feedback on this actually. And I do like racing games. I love Cars in general. The movie,
Cars, yeah.
The Pixar movie. I love Cars. Lightning McQueen is my. Actually, it's just the fact that Owen Wilson voices him that really gets it. But, yeah. So
it definitely comes out on the PC too. I don't know why I didn't.
I think it does.
Because go on.
But I'm planning on picking this up over the summer.
Oh, okay, over the summer. I was gonna say, really? But yeah, because I think I need a good racing game.
This is like a sim, though. Like, are you into Sims?
It depends. Sometimes, like, Sims are a game that I won't play much of, but if I'll have one, every now and then I'll get in a car and I'll just drive for like a couple hours.
It just seems like it's very like I've read reviews that have just been like, this is like as hard as it comes. Like,
really,
if you pick a car for the first time and like you've never raced it before, you'll get in the car and like you have no chance of completing a lap. You really have to know how the car reacts. So
that's cool. I really like that. Because when I played, I think it was F1 2014 or whatever, that was one of the hardest racing games I've played, where the first race, it was just like qualifying laps. I could not do it. Like, I could not make a single turn around a corner. No matter what I did, I would just slam into the wall. And it took me like a good couple hours to learn how to actually go around a corner without spinning out. And then once I got that down, the races were like extremely intense, because it was the kind of racing game where like there's no rubber banding, obviously. So you make a single mistake, you're out of the race. So every single corner you have to nail perfectly and stuff. So, and that was more like a sim with a little arcadiness to it. But so this is interesting. That would be really fun to like get a car and like really nail it, all the specs on it and stuff. But I don't think I'm gonna pick this up until it drops. Which,
well, I have to see. I gotta see what the car list is. I mean, if my car's in it, then I gotta get it.
It's people love this game from what I've read from the previews and stuff, but it did have a problem that I'm trying to remember. It basically, I couldn't explain it because it's all PC stuff, but more or less from, if I want to summarize it in my limited knowledge, it sounds like there's a certain chip in a computer or a certain type of
Jesus Christ
graphics card or something, I don't know. But there's one type of chip that this game just does not work on. And apparently it's a very common, it's like 1 out of 3 laptops and computers have this, and the game just doesn't work on it. And the developers came out and were like, this is not our fault. We sent so many like codes and stuff and projects and developer kits to the makers of this graphics card or whatever. It's kind of like, can't believe I forgot the name. But basically, so the car is on PC. A lot of people are really upset because they got it, and it's just not working at all.
Well, that would upset me.
Yeah, but they're talking about they're waiting for the developers of this card or whatever hard drive, and then they're gonna patch it in so it should work fine eventually once they get it done.
Well, I mean, hopefully that's why I'm a console gamer.
Yeah.
So
it's so like I get PCs and I get it. You get to build a super powerful machine that's like better, but at the same time, it's so nice just to like plug your console in
to get a game
and just get a game, put it in, it just works.
That works.
Unless if it's a Unity or whatever, many of the other AAA games, it didn't work. But that's a different story. They wouldn't work on PC anyways.
All right. But before we move on, I would be remiss if I did not mention that we were called out on an error last time. We said that ukulele, or actually, let me correct this. Neil said ukulele was only coming out to the Xbox.
I just assumed.
Which it is, in fact, coming out to the PS4 and Xbox One, and maybe the Wii U, or PC, rather. So thanks for pointing that out. What's the note? We'll do better not to... Neil will do better not to fuck up next time. So,
I'm just wondering this whole time how much I've just messed up already.
Probably so much.
Probably everything I just said about Project Cars is probably wrong.
Well, if it is, what's the note?
It's probably like about like Drive Club or something like that.
Hey, Drive Club's fun, man. All right. So those are the releases. If there's something that strikes your fancy, comment about it, and we'll start a little dialogue. We'll talk. All right. This is the news brought to you by Core Gamer. Did you like that segue?
This is the news.
I'm so official. So, what do I want to start with here?
Yeah, take your pick. It's all great stuff.
I'll start with EA claims to have new Mirror's Edge and Plants vs. Zombies for 2016. You know why I'll start with this? Because who the fuck cares?
Mirror's Edge, Steve, is a great game.
Did you play it?
I own it still.
Oh.
I love this game. It had some...
You know who does that, right?
No.
Doug.
Yes, you're right. He does. I was looking for... I think it's from Family Guy. I think that's where he gets it from.
Doug's got small hands. Hey, shout out to Doug.
So Mirror's Edge was one of the first games on PS3, and it looked really, really cool. And then people got it, and they were a little disappointed because it was really short. The story wasn't that good.
Let me just add in before you get into this. It's one of my best friend's favorite games of all time. So, like, I'm familiar with the fact that it's good.
It now officially has like a cult following. But when it first came out, everyone hated on it, and then they
shit on it.
Yeah, and then they kept playing it, and they were like, "All right, this is actually a really fun game. It's got the premise there, but it just isn't complete yet." Because like the story sucked. It was really quick; you could beat it. I think a lot of speedrunners liked it. That's why I think it kind of got a cult classic following. Because speedrunners, since it's all parkour, like that's kind of like the whole game, and then you try to beat it as fast as possible. But then it would like the world was all like white, and then like it would just highlight red pipes, so everything was super obvious where you had to go.
Yeah.
And then like it was always like there's only 4 or 5 characters you ever saw. The streets were empty. Like it didn't look real enough, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was super fun to play. So people almost reference it as like a tech demo to what Mirror's Edge 2 is going to be, because they're banking on this, which it could not be good at all. But if they fix the story, they give it a little longer, and then people want like a multiplayer where like you can race other people or fight other people or something, and it was like time trials, so people were let down with that as well. But I'm looking forward to it because the game was a lot of fun, and it could be so much better. And now DICE, everyone loves them from all the Battlefield stuff, and I think they can get away with doing more. Like, I don't think the hands will be as tied. So I'm looking forward to it. They're saying 2016. I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I think it's going to be late 2016. Plants vs. Zombies, I don't care about. It's a fun game, but...
Yeah, I don't care. But I believe that is Garden Warfare they're talking about.
It is. It's going to be a second Garden Warfare.
Oh, okay. Yeah, which like we actually played and
it's fun. It's just...
Well, we also got it for free. So.
Exactly. I don't plan on paying for it.
All right. So, EA, yada, yada, yada. More importantly, another announcement here was that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 was announced. I love Tony Hawk games.
What one was your favorite?
3.
3. I played it.
It's the game I got with my PS2.
Okay. I've played it. That's probably my least favorite out of... I think I've only played 4. And 1 and 2 were my favorite. Just because that was like... It was so cool to be like a skateboarder or whatever. And then...
Yeah.
3 is... I don't know. I think 3 was the one that started to go... Well, I guess they were all over the top. I think you could do like... double backflips and stuff in the first game. And... all this absurd stuff, but... Would you... so you're looking forward to this? Are you going to... Like, let's say... I'm trying to see if they mentioned a release date. I know they announced it, but they haven't said, like, 2016 or anything, did they?
No, I think... I believe this is planned to be a downloadable title, too.
They also said it's going to be the last one? Or no, I might be mistaking that for another game.
Probably Rock Band.
Probably Rock Band. No, there's another one besides Rock Band, too. Because, But, you know what was... Maybe it was 3 that had the park builder. Could you build parks in 3?
Oh, yeah. You could.
That was cool. Building your own skate parks was awesome.
All right, Neil. When I type in Neil is into Google, what comes up?
God, am I supposed to guess?
Just guess. You got 4 suggestions.
Awesome.
Awesome is one of them, yes. One out of 4.
Dumb.
Dumb is not there. I'll give you 2 strikes.
Okay.
One of them you should be able to get. One of them you will never get.
Alright. It's Neil is.
Neil is.
Neil is... I wanted to be like Neil stands for, but Neil is...
Well, I'll give you that because it says Neil is short for what name. So
okay. See, usually if it's a name, it's almost like, what does this mean?
Yeah, Neil is short for what name?
All right, so I'm 2 for 4.
Yeah, 2 for 4. We got one more incorrect that you got in there.
Neil is...
What is Neil?
I'm trying to think who's famous.
What is Neil?
What is Neil? Neil is hungry, because I am.
No, Neil is gay.
Is that really one of them?
It's actually the top one, and the other one is Neil is analyzing a quadratic function.
What?
If it makes you feel better, if you type in Steven is, it goes Steven is gay. Steven is my name, which is just like people, their name's Steven, are just like, Steven is my name. And then one is, Steven is short for Steve, right? But it's the other way around. Steve is short for Steven.
Oh my god. I love Google searches and what people search for.
Oh man. And if you type in Neil R, It just goes, Neil are strong. Because people are misspelling Neil Armstrong. So it just says Neil Armstrong has 3 separate words. Oh, man. Ah, this has been the news. Right.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I just got sidetracked there. You are strong.
God, I love
Yes, you're like a caveman. You are strong. All right. Ubisoft. Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
Ubisoft?
Ubisoft. I believe it's a silent U. Bsoft.
Bsoft? Bysoft, actually.
Bysoft.
And the silent T, it's Bysoft.
Yes, but it's French. I mean, who the hell knows how to Bysoft is bringing in more studios for Tom Clancy's The Division. Which is good, I guess, because this game should be good. So if they're bringing in new studios, it means they're fully committed.
Yeah, they're bringing in all their A-team that belong to, like, Ubisoft. Like, they're getting in the people who are, like, behind Assassin's Creed world building.
Oh, yeah?
And stuff like that. And the Splinter Cell...
Because that's hard. Let's just throw a bunch of fucking towers all over the place.
How many towers are you going to have to climb to reveal the map?
You have to you reveal the towers, you have to climb the towers, and then when you get to the top, it just tells you to buy the DLC. It's like, if you'd like to see more of the map, that'll be 99 cents, please.
But they're also getting Splinter Cell multiplayer and stuff, and you can, like, see the list of the developers or from the regions. It's crazy how big Ubisoft is, because people are in, like, it's now in, like, the UK, Sweden, and the US, and then I think Ubisoft is located in Montreal, or is it France?
It's actually, I think it's headquartered in France.
I think it is too. I know it's French.
Montreal is French too, so I mean, what the hell does it make?
I'm pretty sure its headquarters is in French, but its main, or maybe not. I think.
Oh, we Assassin's Creed.
But I think Assassin's Creed is made in Montreal, and that's why most people know Ubisoft Montreal.
All right, you ready for this? That's the noise. You don't know what that is? That's like the noise that they play when you start the Ubisoft game.
Oh, God. You can just see the face I was making.
Just total disgust. Speaking of Assassin's Creed, though, today or tomorrow, we don't really know. There's the big Assassin's Creed Syndicate reveal, which is apparently most likely in Victorian London. Hop on the Chug Jug!
Well, I think its original code name or project name or whatever was
Victory.
And that's way cooler, I think, than Syndicate.
Yes! Syndicate, first of all, Syndicate itself was a shitty game.
and you don't name other games after shitty games.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, Victory was awesome because it, like, went in line with Unity.
Yeah.
And it had to do, like, with the Victorian period. That's a really good name.
I don't know why they switched it. I really don't. I'm sure there's going to be, like, a group that's called the Syndicate.
Well, the early I guess, news coming out of this is that there's going to be 2 protagonists, a man and a woman, who are brother and sister. And I'm assuming if you play co-op, you'll be able to play as both of them. So
I hope so. I know that they're definitely trying to make up for last year when they didn't have any playable female characters in the online, and then they just made bad excuses for that reason. And so now they're going to be like, she's going to be in the story.
I'm really upset that they changed the name.
The other name was so much better.
Victory's a cool name.
What if it's like, oh man, what if this is not really like the next Assassin's Creed game, and it's one of the, like, the in-betweens?
Oh, God.
And so Victory is really going to be the next one, and Syndicate isn't really it.
Revelations, you mean?
Say what?
Like Revelations.
Yeah, Revelations. And
that was like a filler game.
Yeah, and it was the worst one.
Oh, God, it was so bad. I didn't get more than, like, 2 hours into it, and back then I played all those games.
And now you barely play any of them.
I didn't play Unity.
You barely played 4. It took you forever to actually open it and play it.
Yeah, that's true. But I did play it once I opened it.
That's true.
Which is, what you do with games when you open them, you play them. All right. So we got Nintendo turns a profit, which, like, I don't know why, because like they didn't turn a profit when they came out with Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart 8. So, like, why are they turning a profit now? Like, what spurned this?
I think the main thing, the Wii U still hasn't broke 10 million sales, which is pretty sad, I think. Or is it? How long has it been out? Either way, what's impressive is the 3DS has sold over 52 million, which is crazy. And so I think it's the 3DS that's really pushing it. And they haven't really mentioned any of the Amiibos yet, but clearly that's doing really well for them.
Amiibos is killing it.
Yeah, and they're going to really bank on that.
The plural of Amiibos is Amiibo. So.
Okay. And it's just Amiibo?
That really upset you, didn't
it's like
it?
I was going to say, I was going to go straight through it, but I had to go back to it. Is it like, so it's kind of like fish?
Yeah, the plural of Amiibo is Amiibo.
I don't like it. Amoebi.
Amoeboxing.
Ameoxen.
It, like, collectors of Amiibo are called amigos.
I like that.
Pretty good, right? And they spell it with the 2 I's. It's pretty good.
That's a good one. Yeah, so they're in profit, which is good because I wasn't worried they were going to go under because I don't think they can.
No, they can't.
They're too important.
Like, if they were going to go under, they'd just be like, all right, open the vault. We'll just put we'll put the open world online Pokemon MMORPG. We'll throw that on there. We'll have, Pokemon Yellow, the app on your iPhone for like $30. Like, they just like to keep this mystique about them when, like, they know they could make billions of dollars so easily. Yeah,
they're very slow moving and they do weird things and you never really know why they're doing it. And I think you're right. If they ever really got in trouble, they just re-release all their games on different platforms and everyone would buy it.
Well, like, they'll be fine. I mean, let's be honest. Splatoon looks amazing. All right.
It does. Now that I've seen it, apparently people are complaining that the rollers in it are too overpowered. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did see that. But, like, they're actually, like, really marketing that game, which is good, though, because it's a new IP for them, so.
I think they're really counting on it, which I think people are going to love it. I think people who like Nintendo and already have the stuff
really looking forward to it. It looks like it's going to be so well done.
It's basically going to be like that shooter that Nintendo needs without being just a remake of, like, a game that's for really another system, and they're like, and we'll put it on the Wii. Like, this is made for it.
It looks to have, like, a really, really cool single-player campaign in which, like, they introduce, like, all the different weapons to you. And then the Horde mode in it looks awesome.
I didn't even know it had a Horde mode. That's really cool.
The game... All right, we're back.
Oh, we back? What happened?
I don't know. We apologize for that. It was only a few minutes. I mean, seconds. You guys won't mind, but
okay.
Neil's having he's having a thunderstorm over there.
Honestly, there's a very good chance that was it because it's just like cracking like crazy outside.
Yeah. So I mean, that was only like 10 seconds. I handled it well, Neil. I just called you an idiot, but no. So, did you ever play Mod Nation Racers for the PS3?
Yes.
Okay, so, like, first of all, I love that game, but you remember, like, how there was that central hub world or whatever where you could, like, drive your cart, like, to go play single player or to go play multiplayer or to go, like, work in the shop?
Yes.
Like, they have that in Splatoon. That's the same thing. Like, there's a central hub that's always online where, like, you're just, like, running around and, like, when you're in a party, you're all actually in that hub. So it's like, all right, like, I'm going to go run into the store and, like, buy some new stuff. And then, like, if you want to go play multiplayer, you both run to the multiplayer building together. It's, like, really cool setup. It's kind of like the tower in Destiny, too.
That's really cool. I like hubs like that, that you get to interact with people, but they're not, like, I don't know. As long as it doesn't, I guess it's going to force you. Mm-hmm. But as long as, I guess if it's fast enough loading times, because it would be annoying if it, like, kicks you out.
It doesn't force you because you can like boot right into multiplayer and stuff.
Okay.
So anyway, so that they had like a beta or kind of a beta. It was like 3 hours of they were pretty much just stress testing their servers, which is a smart idea. But over the weekend, I didn't get to play any of it, but I did see some videos from it. It looks great. I'll be getting that when it comes out.
What if I just surprised you by getting a Wii U and I got that game?
I know you're interested in it. Like it's gonna be fun. I wouldn't expect you to buy a Wii U just for that, but I would expect you to buy a Wii U for all the other Wii U games.
What do you think about there not being a voice chat option?
I mean, for me, it's fine, just because like I don't have any friends that play on the Wii U anyway, and I don't like talking to random people.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like I feel like if we were to play it, like if you let's say did have a Wii U, we'd probably just use Skype, and like we wouldn't even like notice.
I feel like the only people that it's really gonna hurt are people who do like to talk to randoms.
Mm-hmm.
Because anyone like you said, we would just get Skype. Like that's what like League of Legends, even though you can type, there's no voice option, so everyone just goes on Skype instead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
we would be able to. I feel like you're able to work around it, and I know it's annoying, but like I understand the reasoning for it because Nintendo.
Because people suck.
Yeah, people suck. That's basically what the guy said. He said that he's playing Call of Duty, and he said that unless he's playing with his friends, he's never had a good experience in a lobby of Call of Duty. So he wanted to remove that from the game because he doesn't want anyone to have a bad taste in their mouth after playing the game.
I totally agree. Like you won't go to a lobby after a game and have people just like tearing you apart because you didn't paint the right wall or use the right lane to speed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be, you're going to go in, you're going to have fun. You can always communicate.
Yeah, game, it's just going to be, that game just looks fun. Like, it's not something you get mad about. Like, oh, it's so cheap, like COD. I mean, like, you just run around splatting paint and, like, trying to cover the amount of the board so that you win, and at the same time shooting other people, and then they turn into squids. Like, it's just... It's completely insane, but it's such a cool concept. And when they announced this last E3, I was like so into it. I was like, oh, I can't wait to play that game. So I'm really happy it's only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, and think of all the games that like even like Bloodborne. There's no voice. You don't voice chat when you hook up with some random person, but you have gestures. But like that would be cool if they added those, like little taunts or something.
There's call outs that automatically happen, like oh, cover the left side, or
okay.
Stuff. So, like that's pretty crucial in that game. And also the point of the game is that when you're playing on the gamepad and you look down, you can see where everyone is. So like if you look down and you see the map, you're like, oh, like there's 2 people on the left side of the map, and like it's like a live update of how much of the map's covered by paint. You could see like, oh look, they're spraying the top left corner. I should go over there and try and stop them.
God, the game sounds so cool.
It is like that. It's gonna be. It's the best uses of the gamepad that I've seen. Just like the whole point of the Turf War game mode is to just whoever finishes the game after 5 minutes with more the percentage of the map covered, and that it's just like a live stream, like overhead view, like on your gamepad, so you can like look down and check real fast. That's awesome.
That's so cool. That's like a year or 2 ago when they were pushing smart glass so much. Like that's the way it should be used.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so.
Yeah.
That game, I can't wait. That's my next big game. Like, everything I'm playing now is just, like, killing time until Splatoon comes out.
When does it come out?
May 29th, so, like, 2 more weeks.
Oh, almost there.
Yeah, I know. We're coming up fast. And the last bit of news here was just that Star Wars Battlefront does not have iron sights or classes.
So, yeah. So, basically, what they're doing is a lot of people thought it would be just like Battlefield, but it's not like that at all. And if you remember the old Battlefront, there were classes, but they're basically, you're going to be like a blank slate, and you can just build your character however you want it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there might be some restrictions, like maybe you can't have like a rocket launcher and like a giant heavy machine gun. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But they're basically not saying if you want the rocket launcher, you have to be this class and this person. So that, and then the no iron sights thing, I'm pretty sure that's how the old Battlefront worked too. It's just you fired from the hip. And the old games, I don't know if these ones will have it. The old games had a wicked auto fire, auto aim. I mean, like to the point where you see your crosshairs just like move in front of the person to lead them because the bullets move slower in that game, even though they're laser bullets, I guess. And you'd see them curve too. So I hope that's not in this game. But the iron sight thing, that's not a big deal, I don't think. You can just shoot from your hip. Snipers still have scopes and can snipe and stuff like that. I think they're trying to make it as accessible as possible because they know that they're going to hit a younger audience, I believe, as well. Mm-hmm. I would hope they're trying to do that.
I mean, this does not kill my excitement for...
Yeah, no, it's going to be... I kind of like the thought that it makes the game feel even more different than just a Battlefield. It's not just a Battlefield clone. It's going to be its own game. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just people are upset about it because they like to get mad at things.
Mm-hmm. Well, no need to get mad. All right, well, that's the news.
Hey!
So, what have you been playing, Neil? I know what you've been playing, but tell everyone.
All right, so I'll skip over Hearthstone. I do. Since I've been playing it, I've been playing the computers and some of the adventures. First off, so I bought one adventure. After you beat that first boss, you play like 3 games and you play a boss. Mm-hmm. Do you unlock the next one or you have to buy the next one?
You have to buy the next one.
Really? Mm-hmm. That sucks. So the computers cheat and they suck.
No, dude, they're fine.
And they just have so many special, awesome abilities. Like, I wish you could be those characters.
I think it's fun, though.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's always fun getting new cards. It's great knowing if you win a battle, you're going to get a card out of it. Mm-hmm. That's always awesome. But yeah, so Hearthstone going like usual. Bloodborne started a new game plus. Same thing. It's fun. It's not challenging because I know how to play the game now, and I think you'd be the same way. But there's enough damage that they can dish out on you that you will die if you aren't paying attention. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. Remember we were talking about the cleric beast before, where we struggle with it, and then you see somebody and they just run up and just like hack at him and never move. I tried that, and he just kept grabbing me and eating me, and I couldn't do it. So I went back to our old strategy, and then when he went into his second phase, then you could just stand underneath him, and I just did that for the rest of the level, and it was super easy. But the game I want to talk about, really not that long, but a fun game because it's kind of cheesy, but it works, is called Zombies Run 3. I don't know why. It's 3. I guess there's a third version. They don't have to call it 3, though.
That would make sense, Neil.
Yeah, but when apps update or something, they don't just say 3 in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no Zombies 1 or 2. But point is, this game, the best way to describe it is, think of it like Clash of Clans, but to get resources for your little village, you have to run miles in real life.
Really?
So, and it talks to you, too. You can just play your music, and it will cut your music down, and then it will talk to you. And it will just say things like, oh, you picked up a bottle of water. Oh, you got some medicine. And then it also keeps track of your pace, which is really important because I didn't have a good pace keeper for running. And it does distance, too. So, I always run around this reservoir in front of my house, but I never knew the actual distance of, what one lap was. And now I know, and now it, breaks it down so I know. And then it also has a story mode, which is super cheesy. I'm not going to lie, it's a little cheesy. It's all British, too, which just sometimes is kind of fun.
The chug.
And they do radio chatter to you. So it's they'll just be like, oh, hey, your name is Runner 5. They're like, oh, Runner 5, we need some medicine. Here, go to the hospital and get some medicine. Just start running. And clearly you're just running the whole time. And right. But what they'll do is zombies will chase you, and it'll be like there are zombies 100 meters behind you. And then whatever your pace was, you have to pick it up. So if you're walking and then zombies are coming after you, you just have to do a little jog. If you're really moving, then you'll have to sprint. And so it basically forces you to increase your pace to outrun the zombies. Or I'm not sure if you die or you just drop an item to distract them. And it's strangely addicting. I don't know why, but I never want to lose to these zombies. So I'm always just dead out sprinting when I'm being chased by these dumb zombies. But it's actually
these dumb zombies.
These zombs, as they call them.
Zombs.
They're always oh, you're running. Oh my God, there's zombies behind you. Just run. And then he's I'm running anyway. So it's really cheesy like that, but it's it's a distraction when people come on and they just kind of talk about whatever, about the world, and there's this mystery going on. So it's entertaining if you never have motivation to run. I would suggest getting it. I think it is $3 or $4 though. It's the only time I've ever bought an app. But I want to test it out. I recommend it. It's pretty fun if you want to run, if you're into that sort of thing. If you're not,
If you want to run.
I think it works with other. I think like you could be on a bike or any exercise because I think it's not just distance based. You could do like time based instead of pace. So I think it does work if you were on a treadmill and you couldn't actually like go anywhere. If you just want to pedal on a bike, that's also works.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I've been playing, barely, which I hope Steve plays a little bit this week as well, is Heroes of the Storm. So since I've been talking a lot, I won't talk too much about it, and that's also because I don't know that much about it. I don't really like MOBAs. I've never been able to get into them. Steve, for whatever reason, has somehow convinced me to play this game, and it wasn't even that difficult for you to do it.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I was like, I'm considering League of Legends. You go, you should play Heroes of the Storm. I got some beta codes. Take one. And I was immediately playing it. From what I know, it's basically a dumbed down version of League of Legends, but I don't want to say dumbed down because that sounds negative. It's the equivalent of Magic the Gathering compared to Hearthstone. It's more simple, but there's still a lot of depth to it, at least from what I know. And since I'm a beginner, I'm okay with simple right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've only done the tutorial levels, and it's a lot to take in still. And later this week, I'm hoping to play more. And I'm hoping you start playing it so we can play together. And then we can just
download. Yeah, I gotta redeem my key.
Yeah, and then I'm just playing bots, so like no one's yelling at me yet. But I know the second I play a real game, I'm just gonna get yelled at so much because I have no idea what I'm doing. Like not even a little bit. I know enough where I can run and fight people and then run away.
Well, it's a learning experience.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But besides, I haven't played enough to really talk about it. What about you, Steve? What have you been playing?
I finished Bloodborne. Me and you both beat Bloodborne last Monday night.
Was that last Monday?
Yeah, within 5 minutes of each other.
Oh God, it feels so long ago.
Neil didn't beat all the bosses, and I did.
It's such a regret.
He fought the king of what's that castle called?
Canehurst.
Canehurst Castle, 3 times or 4 times.
Twice. I fought him twice.
And then was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and just went on to beat the boss. And then he immediately regretted it. So
I got him really low health. I almost beat him both times, and the third time I went to fight him, I just fell off the roof on the way, and I go, all right, I'm just going to beat the final boss instead.
Well, and then it was funny because I had a lot of trouble with him. I couldn't beat him in 6 or 7 tries, and then I went back to the last Monday night, and I beat him in my first try. So, so Bloodborne, fantastic. Now moving on. I continue to play Hearthstone, but I've talked about that a lot.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot.
Pretty exciting. Got a legendary druid card today. But I really want to talk about Box Boy, which is a 3DS downloadable game by HAL Laboratories, who is the maker of the Kirby games. It's great. It's a really simple, as simple as a game can get. It's black and white. The main character is a box with legs and a emoji face on it. And the whole premise is that you can sprout boxes from yourself, and each level has a limit. So, you can, in one level, it's you can sprout 3 boxes, and then, you can either, detach them and throw them, or, retract them. So, it's simple things. You can make, a little L, which is a staircase. You can jump up a ledge that you couldn't jump up before. Or you can make, a little, box that you can just jump on to get over something. So what the cool part is just that there's 17 worlds, and each world is its own little gimmick thing. So you have 7 stages in each world, and it starts really basic, the first 2, just showing you so this is how this works. For example, there's one that has conveyor belts. So it's if you throw it this on the conveyor belt, it'll move like that. And then you do the second world, it's or you can do that. And then over the progressing, the next one until you get to the last one, they just get more and more complicated. But it's a really, really good learning curve of learning what you used in the last level to get past this level. So it's really fun.
I like when games do that. Yeah. I like when they do. They teach you a mechanic, and then you have to remember it because they're going to use it down the line again.
Yeah. Well, like, it's not down the line. It's only within the world.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that's what I really like about it. Is there's 17 worlds and there's 17 game mechanics.
That's a lot of worlds.
You spend 7 levels in each world just perfecting that one game mechanic, and then you move on to the next one. So the game like never feels old because it's never outstaying its welcome. So anyway, it's $5. If you have a 3DS, I really suggest it. I've already put like 5 hours into it, and I still have 4 or 5 worlds to go. So and then there's bonus worlds past that. So I think there's 22 total.
That's really cool. It sounds like a really good price for a really good game that you get a lot of content out of. Mm-hmm. And it's I remember reading an interview with a guy, and they said they were originally like some of the way they make Kirby games, they just come up with random games like this, and they'll just turn it into a Kirby game.
Yep.
And then they decided that like it wasn't the last second, but they just decided that they wanted this to be its own game.
True. Yep.
And that's why it's so like it's so minimalistic, because they made it out of a Kirby game, kind of Kirby context. Yep. And then they just made it, and then people love it. Like I know everyone's talking about it, and to the point where I'm definitely going to get it.
It is awesome, and it's better than any Kirby game I've ever played. So, so yeah, that's what I've been playing. It's Box Boy with an exclamation point. All right, you want to fry some eggs and get it out of here?
And you can't just say like you want to pour some water and get out of here.
I don't know, Neil. I'm running out of things to say.
You should have been like, you want to build some boxes and...
Oh, damn it, you're right.
Dude.
You want to build some boxes and move on out?
There you go.
Boxing, moving. It's episode 16, man. So, anyway, this has been the Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Twitch at Koalafied Gamer Guys, or twitch.tv/Koalafied Gamer Guys. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/QualifiedGGS. We've never had a Twitter follower from the podcast, so if you'd like to be the first, please.
We're looking at you, Wyatt.
Oh, what's the note? And Wyatt. Who knows? That could all be the same person. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You're here already. Just hit the subscribe button. If you've listened this long to hear that, then we'd really appreciate it because you did like the content. So subscribe to us. You'll get a little notification every time we post a video. Same with if you follow us on Twitter. Like, we'll post a little tweet every time a video goes live, or we're streaming something on Twitch. So it's pretty helpful. If you like the music in the beginning, you can head over to soundcloud.com/gearheadedm. And we got 2 questions this week, so we set the bar really high. But if you'd like to email us with any questions, that's qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. That's qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. Qualifiedgamerguys@gmail. I feel like one of those like radio commercials that just like continuously repeats the phone number.
Yeah, just like, so you get it in your head.
The most monotone voice. That's qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. Yeah, so email us a question. We'd love to. Obviously, as you see, like we'll shout you out. We'll answer it on air. If you send us like a picture, something like Wyatt did, we'll put it up in the description and we'll include it in the little video itself. So we really enjoy it, and it really makes us feel loved. So that's all I got, Neil. Do you have anything else?
I guess as we're saying in regards to streaming this week, I think we're probably going to be playing some zombies for Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. Which we just got, so look forward to that. Hopefully, if we do...
Actually, we're going to be doing that in about 15 minutes.
Yes.
You guys won't know.
You won't know that, but...
This will post tomorrow, but well, yeah, we're going to do that in about 15 minutes.
We're going to do that, hopefully good enough, put it on YouTube, get something else besides this podcast on YouTube, is my thought.
So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast. We really appreciate it. Again, thanks Wyatt and thanks Sir Caruso for the emails, and we'll see you next week.